Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome. Welcome. Feel free to sit or lie down for the first part of our practice this morning. And if you have a block, you might like to pop that next to your mat. If you don't have a block, you might grab a couple of books, but that's optional. Don't worry if you don't want to use any props, that's fine. So just coming to sit or lie down, make sure that you are comfortable, that you're warm, that you have all the support you need. If you're sitting, nice, tall, upright spine. And as we always do when we begin, you might like to sigh the breath away 2 or 3 times. So just helping to bring your full attention to this present moment. You might like to close the eyes or have a soft downward glance. As you sigh the breath away, letting go of all thoughts of earlier this morning, last night, yesterday, a week ago, 6 months ago, and also not being concerned with what's happening ahead of this moment. Bringing your full attention to the here and now. The Quaker educator and author Parker Palmer writes, "Winter has a gift to give. It comes when the sky is clear, the sun brilliant, and the trees are bare. It is the utter gift of clarity, time to still the mind and practice soft eyes." So I invite you to just begin by listening to all of the sounds around you, trying not to judge the sounds as pleasant or unpleasant, just observing without naming or labeling. Noticing how many different sounds there are. And then leave these sounds and become aware of your relationship with the ground beneath you. And also feel the relationship you have with the air all around you. And then begin to turn your awareness within and check in with yourself. Note how you are feeling in mind and body this morning. What parts of you are here and what parts of you are not here yet? Observe your inner landscape and notice any feelings of tightness or stiffness, any sore spots, any pain or dis-ease, or perhaps some sadness or frustration, heartache, anger. Are there some sensations or emotions that you're not wanting to feel this morning, that you wish you did not have to feel? See if you can make room for the stiffness, the pain, the frustration to be here without wishing it away. And see if you can begin to soften with each out breath. Perhaps even allowing an audible sighing sound. There is so much power in softness in all of life. I have a favorite quote on my phone which says, "The stronger you become, the gentler you will be." The stronger you become, the gentler you will be. So during our practice this morning, we're going to explore the idea of softening resistance, responding wisely to resistance, whether the resistance is expressed as holding or gripping, tightening, clutching, or stiffness, or it may manifest as a reticence to let go or a tendency towards stubbornness or hardness, harshness, non-acceptance. So the invitation is to notice moments when you feel you are closing and tightening, gripping, and endeavour to soften and move towards being open and accepting of what is. Continuing to return to the breath, soften the gaze, and listen to what the resistance is trying to communicate. So we're going to start off with a little breathing practice, whether you're sitting or lying down. For the next minute or so, we're going to focus all of our attention into the belly. You might even like to rest your hands now over the belly. And for the next minute or so, just focus all of your attention on the exhale down in the belly. So we're not trying to force that exhale to be really deep, but just see if you can soften without strain. Allowing the belly area to soften. So just allowing the inhale to come to fill the lungs. And long, smooth exhalation, letting go of tension, any sense of hardness or tightness. And perhaps you'll notice a little space after the exhalation, maybe just a second or two before the new incoming breath. Soft belly, soft face, soft shoulders, soft belly. Emptying and filling the lungs. Good. And then after your next exhalation, just release this focus. And now our attention will move to the heart space. You might move the hand up to the heart. And for the next minute, focusing our attention on the inhalation. So feeling the chest rise, fill up with fresh energy, breath, life force. And just allow the exhalation to come. Softening, relaxing, releasing. Soft, gentle breath. Good. And then after your next exhalation, release the hand down. And for the next minute, let's focus on breathing into the heart space and allowing the exhalation to come from the belly. So just stay with your own breath, your own experience this morning. A long, smooth, soft inhalation and long, smooth, soft exhalation. One more breath. And then gently release the practice. If you're sitting, you might like to stretch forward. And then we're all going to come to lie down on our mat. So if you're already there, just stay as you are. If you have a blanket over you, might keep that over you, but just free your arms out to the side. And I'll come back to meet you on my mat. So just check that you're lying in a straight line, tucking the chin forward so the back of the neck is long. And this morning we're going to incorporate the mantra Shanti. So we'll, in a moment, stretch the arms overhead, and then as we exhale, we'll chant the arms back down. And there'll be an invitation at the end of the chant, the end of the exhale, to just soften there for a moment and have that little empty space before the next incoming breath. But if it doesn't feel natural to have that space there, don't worry about it. Just let the inhale come straight away. All right, so let's exhale all breath. We're going to do 5 of these. So breathing in, sweeping the arms up overhead. So soft, gentle movement. Shanti. So 4 more. Inhale. If you need to go a little faster or a little slower, go at your own pace. Shanti. Three more. So chanting Shanti here can help to release agitation and tension, unease in the body and mind. Waves of peace flowing through us as we chant. Shanti. last one. And then when you are ready, we'll bring the knees into the chest, give ourselves a lovely hug, and rocking a little bit from side to side. See if you can rock right over to your elbow and then use the elbow to help push you back to center and to the other side. Good. And then come back to center and just step your feet up close to the buttocks, but have the feet mat distance apart. Arms out to shoulder height, palms facing up or down, whatever's best for your shoulders. Tuck the chin forward, feel that your head, neck and spine are in a straight line. So we're going to work with a gentle flowing twist, and we'll hold it after we've done a few rounds. And again, we're working softly. Soft movements are very powerful. So let's breathe in, breathe up your spine. And on the exhalation, lowering the knees over to the right side. Head may turn the opposite direction. Breathe yourself back to center, realign your spine. And then knees over to the left, head may turn to the right. Inhale. And exhale. Breathing in. And breathing out. Perhaps dwelling in that space after the exhale for a second or two. Inhaling. Knees over to the right. This time we'll hold the twist. And if you'd like to, placing that right foot on the outer edge of the left knee. Softening your shoulders. Make sure there's no tension in the mouth. Relax the teeth, the tongue. Softening your forehead, the temples, the skull. Allowing the breath to flow smoothly in and out. Releasing the right foot down, returning to center. And knees over to the left side. Left foot might be placed on the outer edge of the right knee. Head may turn to the right. Let the breath flow. Placing the left foot down and return to center. All right, let's place our right ankle now on our left thigh. And you can either just stay here with the right hand on the inner edge of the knee and working to draw that knee away from you. Otherwise, some of you might be able to lift the left foot off the floor, interlace the fingers under the left knee. Keep the feet flexed, particularly the right foot, to protect that right knee. Back of the neck long, skin of the face soft, and we breathe here. And just noticing what parts of you are saying yes to this practice and what parts of you are saying no. So just aware of resistance, of tension. So listening inward for guidance, whether we need to back off a little bit or perhaps going a little bit deeper if the intensity of the stretch is diminishing. So constantly listening for cues, feeling for cues to guide us in terms of whether we back off or go in a little bit deeper to each pose. Good. And then gently release. Let's swap it over. Left ankle on your right thigh. So again, you might rest here with the left hand on the inner edge of the left knee or interlacing your fingers under the right knee. Keeping that left foot flexed, chin tucking forward. This side might feel quite different. So again, the questions, what parts of me are saying yes to this pose? What parts are saying no? What parts are a little bit unsure, a little bit resistant? Can I honor those cues and practice accordingly? Good. And gently release. Just hug both knees in. Good. And then stretch the left leg away, just keeping the right knee in towards your chest, but take the arms out to the side. Both feet are flexed. And we're going to make some nice slow circles in the air now with this right knee. Good. And reversing. Good. And then just give that right knee a lovely hug. Point your left toes, and as we inhale, let's take that left leg straight up into the sky. Flex the foot, and then slowly lowering that left leg down. Heel may hover off the floor, and then we point the toes, breathing in and flex, and breathing out. Inhale and take it up. This time, let's keep that left leg in the air and just point and flex the foot a few times. And making some slow circles with that foot. And reverse. Good. And then carefully lowering that left leg down. Inhale, take the right leg up to the sky, arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, we lower everything down. So let's do the same now on the other side. So draw the left knee in, arms out to the side. Right foot is flexed. And we're drawing some nice slow circles with this left knee. Good. And reversing. And come back to center, give that left knee a hug, point your right toes. Inhale, let's take that right leg up, flex the foot, and lower down. Heel may hover, and then we point the toes, inhale, flex, and exhale. And last one, keeping that right leg in the air, point and flex the foot. And making some nice slow circles. And reversing. And lowering the right leg down. Inhale, take that left leg up to the sky, arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, lowering everything down. Take a resting breath there. Just let everything go. Let yourself soften into the mat. And then stepping the feet up close to the buttocks. Now, if you've got your strap or a book, you might like to place this between your inner knees, but this is optional. So don't worry if you don't have any props. We're going to work with bridge, a dynamic bridge, Setu Bandhasana. We're going to add some words to this movement. So again, just check that your spine is in alignment, chin tucking forward, your palms are pressing down alongside your hips, and your inner knees are squeezing into that block to keep it in place. Exhale all breaths, if you can flatten the back. And then on your next inhale, slowly starting to peel the spine away from the floor. You might just come up about halfway the first few times. And as the back starts to warm, you'll lift up perhaps a little bit higher. But don't feel you have to go into your maximum position the first time. So breathing in, we lift, and breathing out, we lower down. Again, you might dwell in that space after the exhale for a second or two or three. So breathing in softness. Breathing out, I have strength. Breathing in softness. I have strength. In softness. I have strength. So just continue working with your own breath in softness. I have strength. This can be a challenging idea for many of us who were brought up in this Western world where many of us are taught from a young age that softness and vulnerability are weaknesses, not a sign of strength. Very different opinion on that in our spiritual practices, in our yoga practice. Let's work with a few more. If you'd like to hold bridge, feel free to stay in the pose the next time you lift up. Perhaps continuing to work with those words. You might even like to interlace the fingers under the body, wriggle from side to side, tuck the shoulders in underneath you. In softness, I have strength. Just 2 more breaths here. you're still in the pose, gently coming down, removing any blocks or hooks. Bring the knees in. You might cross the legs at the ankles and making some little circles on the floor with your lower back. And cross the legs the other way, circling in the opposite direction. Good. And let's carefully roll over to one side. We're going to come around into extended child. Coming back to our mantra, our chant, Shanti here. So big toes touching, knees at least hip width apart, extending the fingers forward, finding your breath here. So we'll work with 5 of these, chanting Shanti here as we move from cat back into child. And again, if you're comfortable at the end of the exhalation, just pausing empty for a second or two and softening before we start that new incoming breath. So let's exhale all breath here. And then breathing in as we come up onto all fours. Shanti. At your own pace. Shanti. Last one. Let's take a resting breath or two. And then just looking forward, we're going to make some circles with our hips, so hippie cat. So let's come around to one side as we breathe in, lean forward, around to the other side and back. So around to the side, forward to the other side and back. Good. Keep going. And then reversing. And then pausing there, an extended child, take a breath.
And then preparing to lift up into down face dog pose. So when you're ready, coming up onto your knees, tuck your toes, moving into Ardha Mukha Svanasana. That's our first dog, so you might like to bend one leg and then the other, especially if the legs are feeling quite stiff this morning. Spreading the fingers wide, middle fingers pointing straight ahead, relaxing your head and your neck. And bringing the pose to life with our breath. I like to blow the breath out through the mouth. Soft breath. Soft attention. And we're going to stay for another few breaths, but of course, if you're a bit low in energy this morning or any congestion in the head, a bit headachy, come down a little bit earlier. Just rest in child pose. Lowering down and release, and just rest your arms for a moment. You might make fists with the hands and rest your forehead on your fists, or take your arms back alongside you. Good. And then coming up onto all fours, have your knees together. I'm going to do a little bit of a stretch for the calf. So taking one leg back, doesn't matter which one, tucking the toes under, and we'll hold here. Good. And release that knee down. Extend the other leg back, tuck the toes under, and breathe. Lower that knee down. Moving into tiger now, the balance variation. So the knees are together, hands are directly under the shoulders. We'll exhale all breath. And as we breathe in, we're going to extend the left arm and the right leg back behind us. Not wanting to do too much of a back bend here, so draw the belly button in towards your spine. And then when you need to exhale, lower the knee and the palm. And then moving to the other side, breathing in, right arm, left leg, stretching long and lowering. So let's keep going. Left arm, right leg. Right arm, left leg. Stay with your breath. This next one we're going to hold. So left arm, right leg. You can either stay in this position or bend the right leg. See if you can reach the left arm back around either to rest on the buttock, or if you can, find your foot or your ankle and then starting to lift up. Looking down if you feel a bit wobbly, or if you can look forward. Breathe, soft face. And then carefully lower down. And to the other side, right arm, left leg. Either staying in this extended position or bending the left leg. Take the right hand back to your buttock or holding onto the foot, the ankle, and lifting up. Pressing down firmly through that left arm and hand, fingers. Turn the sides of the mouth up slightly, softening the skin of the face, soft eyes. Good. And gently release it down, push back into child, any version of child that you would like, or some of you might like to interlace your fingers and lift up onto the crown of the head, arms up and over. And just see if you can soften a little more in this position. And then we'll carefully come down and rest for a breath or two. And then extend the arms forward. So we're going to lift up into dog and work with a flowing sequence which has plank in it. Actually, let's do plank first, but if you don't want to do plank, any shoulder or wrist issues, you might like to work with dolphin if there's a wrist issue, interlacing your fingers and lifting up, or just work with some gentle cat and dog instead of what we're going to do, which is a little bit stronger, but we're going to try and do it softly with some softness. So first of all, we'll come back onto all fours, and you can repeat the calf stretch if you don't want to do plank. So taking one leg back and holding for a few breaths on each side. Those of you who'd like to come along with me will move into plank by taking the other leg back. So the body's in a straight line. The breath is flowing. Even though it's a strong pose, we're trying to bring in some softness. Good. And then lower the knees down, push back into extended child. So either doing a gentle option now or come up onto your knees, tuck your toes into down face dog pose. From here, we bend the legs, we come forward into plank and back into dog. Two more of these. So bending the legs, forward into plank, back into dog. Bending, forward, and back. All right. And now we reverse. So from dog, we come straight forward into plank, bend the legs, back into dog. Straight forward into plank, bend the legs, back into dog. And last one. Good. Coming down onto your knees. And again, we come back into child. Any version of child. If you've got your block or your book, you might even pop that in front and rest your forehead on the block. Take a couple of breaths here. Let's gently release, coming up to kneel, either in a low kneel, or if it's better for you, you might be more of an upright position. We're going to work with a variation of camel or strasana, and then we'll work with a few rounds of a kneeling salute. I think you all know this practice. We're going to slip one hand to the lower back And then as we breathe in, we come up and raise the opposite arm up. So you can either just lengthen straight up or add a little bit of a back bend if that feels okay. Exhale, and we lower down. We swap the hands over, breathing in. Any neck issues, you look forward, otherwise we can tilt the head to look up. And exhale. And then both arms together. And lower. So let's do 2 more rounds like this. So one hand to the lower back. And lower. Other arm. Both arms together. Okay, one more without my voice. Now just pause there. If that's gone into your lower back, you might lean forward and just give the lower back a little bit of a rub with your fists. And then we're going to prepare to work through just 3 rounds of our kneeling salutes this morning. On the last exhale, if you'd like to join with me, we'll chant Shanti, and then we'll pause for a breath and just see if we can dwell for a moment in that space at the end of the exhalation. So really slowing it down this morning. So let's exhale all breath. We're adding that camel variation at the beginning. So slip one hand to the lower back, inhale. Swap it over. Both arms up. Inhale, cat, tuck your toes, down, face dog pose. Lowering the knees, into child. Sliding along the floor, Bhujangasana. Pushing back. Shanti. And take a breath here. To dog. To cat. Child. Sliding along the floor. Shanti. Take a breath. Shanti. All right, let's come up onto our knees. Any knee issues, you might give yourself a bit of padding. If you've got a block or a book, you might pop that now to the left side of you. Don't worry if you don't have anything. And we're going to step this right leg out. So working with our gate pose, Parigasana. When you're ready, breathe in. Turn to the left, and we're tipping over to the left side. So you can play around with the height of that support. Inhale, come up, turning to the right and tipping over to this side. Breathing in to the left and over. You might extend this top arm over the head. Inhale and exhale. So one more to each side. Come up to center and release the arms. Step that right foot in. Any blocks or books, take them over to the other side. Step the left leg out. So breathing in, turning to the right and tipping over. Inhale, come up to the left and over. So 2 more to each side. Come up and exhale. From here, just bring that leg in and we're going to come up to stand. So just pop anything off your mat that might be on there. And just coming to stand into Tadasana. Sighing the breath away. We're going to start our standing poses with Lord Krishna's pose, a balance that we don't often do, but it's a beautiful, beautiful pose. So we're going to start by shifting the weight into the left foot, and we're going to wrap this right foot around. And if you can't wrap the toes around the left calf, you can just rest the big toe down, especially if you're feeling a little bit wobbly. And then with our hands, we bend the middle and ring fingers, and the thumb presses on top of those 2 bent fingers. So the index and middle fingers are straight. They come across to the right side, and the left palm is facing towards us, right palm is away. And we're just turning the head a little bit to the right as though we're blowing into our flute. So this is Lord Krishna playing his flute. Soft breath, soft attention. Gently release, come back into Tadasana, take a breath. And let's try the other side. So weight into the right foot, left foot across, perhaps wrapped around the calf or big toe resting on the floor. And then hands are over to the left side. Tilt the head gently towards the left, blowing into our flute. Shoulders soft, the skin of the face, the mouth free of tension. Gently release. Come back into Tadasana and take a breath. Good. Then we're going to interlace the fingers and just roll the hands, the wrists around. So just a little bit of work for our wrists. Good. And then just turn one hand up, doesn't matter which one. Push the palm up towards the sky and just bend the fingers down. Keep pushing the palm up, and then you can press all of the fingers down and breathe. And turn the hand over, push the hand down. Good, give it a shake. And then we'll do the other side. So push the palm up, bending the fingers down. And then pressing all of the fingers down, palm pressing up. Breathe. Turn it over, fingers point down, push the hand down. Give it a shake. Okay, back into Tadasana. Let's come back to our chant Shantihi and seeing if we can dwell a little bit in that space after the exhale. So we'll breathe in and raise the arms out to shoulder height. And as we exhale, just bring the palms in front. Keep everything soft. Inhale, raise the arms overhead, and we chant the arms down. Shanti. Little pause. In front, above, Shanti. Three more. Resting breath. And we're going to step to the backs of our mats and step the right leg forward and work with a flowing warrior one. And again, on the last exhalation, we'll chant Shanti. We're just going to do 3 of these. So make sure your hips are square, soften the shoulders, exhale all breath. So breathing in as we bend the right leg, take the arms up above the head. And as we exhale, hands come to shoulder height. Inhale, turn the palms up alongside your chest, and exhale, hands come into prayer. Breathe your arms up above the head. Let's take a breath there. And then step your feet together. Left leg forward. Hips are squared, shoulders relaxed. Exhale all breath. Breathing in, we bend the left leg, take the arms above the head. And exhale, bring your hands to shoulder height. Let everything soften. Turn the palms up, inhale. And exhale. Breathe in. Two. Step your feet together. We're going to come to lie down, and if you've got a block, just have that, or a book, have that close to you. Don't worry if you don't have anything, but just first of all, bring the knees in towards the chest. And as you inhale, you might like to raise the legs up to the sky, arms overhead in softness. I have strength. So 2 more of these. In softness. I have strength. last one. Rocking now a little bit from side to side. And then I thought we might go into a restorative pose just for a few minutes before we move into Shavasana. So you can either lie with your legs up the wall or place the block, work with bridge, a supported bridge. So placing the block under the buttocks, you can play around with how high, or we did this, I think, a couple of weeks ago, Viparita Karanyasana. So lying with the block under your buttocks, and then you take the legs up into the air. So choosing one of these three options. It's going to be done alongside you or overhead. You might like to close the eyes. Just see if you can soften here. Perhaps sighing the breath away and dwelling in that space after the exhalation for a second or two or three or four. Just letting everything slow down. The mind is still feeling quite busy. You might like to chant to yourself. Just another 30 seconds here. Then over the next 2 or 3 breaths, slowly, if you're in bridge, lowering down or bringing the legs down if they're in the sky or up the wall. You might give the knees a hug and rock from side to side, perhaps even a little bit of a twist, a gentle supine twist. So just do what feels good, what's needed. Ask your body what it would like and honour that. And then when you feel ready, without rush, we'll come to lie down for Shavasana. Sighing the breath away, emptying with the out breath. So as you come to lie down, make sure that you are warm and have all the support you need. If you wear glasses, just perhaps popping those to one side. Once again, becoming aware of the steady breath as it flows into and out of the body. Soft breath, soft attention. Allowing your whole body now to sink down, down, down.
And then turning your attention to your right hand. And feel the skin on the palm of your right hand becoming warm and relaxed. Imagine that you're placing your right hand in soothing, warm water. Feel the warmth in each finger, on your palm, spreading to the back of your hand, to your wrist. Feel your right arm becoming warm. Your right arm is feeling very heavy and very relaxed. Now focus on your left hand. Picture placing your left hand into soothing, warm water. Feel the warmth relaxing your hand completely. Allow your wrist to enter the warm, calming water. Your left arm is becoming heavy. Your left arm feels warm, heavy, and relaxed. And then turn your attention to your legs. Feel your legs becoming warm as though you're sitting or lying in some natural warm springs outside. Feel the warmth spreading all the way from your feet to your ankles, lower legs, knees and hips. Feel your legs heavy, warm, relaxed. And imagine a gentle breeze blowing across your face. Feel your face and head relaxing. Your eyelids are very heavy. Picture the mild winter sun shining down on you, softening the front of your body, allowing your chest and stomach to relax. Feel the winter sun's gentle rays warming your skin, relaxing your body. Feel your back warm and relaxed as you sit or lie in the warm springs. Feel your whole body relaxing in the warmth of the natural springs. Feel heaviness and softness in your entire body. Your body is warm and relaxed. Feel free to stay here if you're happy and you have the time to do so. Otherwise, we will slowly now make our journey back into your physical space, into your physical body. Feeling the breath flow in through both nostrils and out through both nostrils. Gentle, soft breath. Bringing a little bit of movement into your fingers and toes. And when you feel ready, carefully rolling over to one side. You might like to rest a hand over your heart and say to yourselves a few times, in softness, I have strength. In softness, I have strength. And then slowly coming up to sit. And we'll close by chanting Om Shanti 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 just once. So if you'd like to join with me, bring the hands together at the heart. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. And see you again soon. Lots of love to you all. Bye.